What's up, builders? So today we're going to talk about metadata filtering for knowledge-based responses to chat agents. Woo, that was a mouthful. Okay, inside of Voiceflow, you could do this previously, but you had to do some API wizardry and kind of do this workaround. This is now natively in the platform in the knowledge base tab. I'm going to walk through it here. So let's pretend that we're going to build an agent for Roto-Rooter, which for those of you that are unaware is a plumbing company. Now, why is this important? Because there's a good chance, and if you're lucky enough and skilled enough to build agents for franchise locations, you're going to need your agent to be able to dynamically swap based on the locations of the franchise, because each of the individual locations are going to have slightly different information. Now, here's what you don't want to do, okay? I'm going to make one agent. I'm going to have one chatbot for each location. And then I'll just make a new project for each one. Oh, easy peasy. Well, that might sound good on the surface because you could take each individual franchise location and do custom things for each one. But you'll slowly realize it's going to be a complete terrible experience to manage and update all of them at once. A much better thing for you to do is to make one agent. Okay, let's talk about another dumb thing to do. All right, well, let's say for each location, I'm going to grab a different agent node, and this is Roto Richmond, and Roto Richmond's going to have some different instructions, and this is Roto Virginia Beach. And you just, for each of these franchise locations, you just start spinning out and spiraling out different logic for each location. Don't do that either. Do this instead. Knowledge base filtering. If we look at this agent, just its standard customer support prompt instructions, you'll notice in the knowledge base, which is toggled on, it's going to go get information about each of the franchise locations. There's something new here. Advanced query settings, metadata filtering. Now, where do we get this? Because if you just click on this on a fresh project, you're going to hit plus and it's going to be grayed out, and there's nothing for you to do here. And that's because you actually have to go into the knowledge base for your sources where you can set different metadata for your different sources. Now I have 3 text files here. Let's pretend we have Roto-Rooter Richmond, Virginia Beach, and Williamsburg, which those of you that are unaware are cities in the state of Virginia. Now each one of these, if I click, you can see, all right, I scraped the website page. Here's some information about Richmond. Here's some information about Virginia Beach. Here's some information about Williamsburg. But you'll notice now, oh, here is our new feature functionality. Connor finally gets to the point. Metadata. So you can add custom metadata to each one of your sources. And you'll see, as it highlights on this new one, here's the existing key, which is market, which I just typed in, made up something that made sense logically. Now you'll see I did Williamsburg _ Virginia Beach. If you do, you'll see in the field value here, it's value, comma, value, comma, value. So you can put multiple things into this block. And when I did this in the beginning, I was like, oh, Williamsburg, can't type now. VA, just because that's like what I'm used to seeing. But what that actually does is it'll swap the, oh, it didn't even save. What am I doing here? Probably because it's the same key. But anyways, it had like alphabetically order shifted these around. So don't worry about that. Okay. So for each one, I have market, Virginia Beach _ Virginia. For Richmond, Richmond _ VA. Now let's go back to our agent workflow. Edit agent, knowledge base, scroll down. So for these instructions, I've got a generic, hey, you are a Roto-Rooter customer servant agent, but I don't have any franchise location specific instructions in there because I know that that's going to change based on what website this agent is sitting on. Okay. So something that I can do is, all right, I've got these base instructions for everybody that apply to everybody on how you behave. But when it's time to bring in the custom information and the knowledge base for the individual franchise location, I only want you to look here. So I'm going to filter for the market, and you'll look, it says value provided. And that is because I've created an external variable in this flow, which I'll show you in a second, which is selected market, and only use this default value. Now, if I click reset here, and I click away, click back, oh, let's go back. You'll see that this changes and the agent can apply this. And it says the LLM will apply one, many, or no values at runtime when this tool is called. So what's nice about this is you adding some metadata here, the agent can actually just pick it up and have more accurate queries based on you just putting metadata into your sources. So this is a good idea to add the metadata tags regardless if you're going to actually filter for something specific. But let me show you what would be a good idea in this case. So, and you'll look, so the default value here, it shows me what my possible metadata flags are that I set in my knowledge base. But instead of actually just saying Richmond or Virginia Beach or Williamsburg in here, I want to make this dynamic. So I'm going to use the variable that I created, which is selected market. And then I'm going to change the LLM description to say, use the default value. And what this does, because I just have a set this variable here, if I was putting this into production, I would do a lot more logic to say, hey, which domain I'm on? Oh, I'm on Roto-Rooter Richmond, and then I'm going to apply this value. Oh, I'm on Roto-Rooter Williamsburg, then the selected market goes to Williamsburg. But that's not, it's a little bit more complex in this video. But let's look what happens, okay? So if I test this agent, hello, thank you for contacting Roto-Rooter, trusted plumbing experts since 1935. I asked what city or area you're located in. So I didn't put the selected market in the instructions. Bad bot builder me. But watch what happens if I say, what areas do you service in Virginia Beach? Now remember, selected market is on Richmond. And I have a knowledge base document on Virginia Beach. And it's going to go and look. This looks. And it's like, oh. It's going to come back and say, based on my search, I don't have anything. I only have Richmond. So this is good, right? I don't want to pull Virginia Beach stuff in here. I don't want to pull Williamsburg stuff in here. Like, I only want to talk about Richmond. Now, if I say, what service areas do you service? Man, I'm rough on these queries today. What service area do you service in Richmond? What's going to happen is it's going to match what comes back in the filter for Richmond. It's like, perfect. We've got detailed information on the service area in Richmond City, New Kent, Surrey. It's going to give all this stuff. So you can use these tags for metadata in your knowledge base sources to add guardrails, craft certain experience. But I think one of the big things that jumps out to me is it helps you make a lot more dynamic agents that are more easily manageable at scale, depending on your particular use case. So that's it. I don't really think there's a ton more to do here. I mean, I could spin up other examples of how I might use metadata to do different things, but this is a relatively new push for Voiceflow, and I'm sure I'll start integrating into some workflows. But anyways, love to hear your thoughts as always. Happy building out there. Thanks. Peace.